How's it going, everybody? The PlayStation Ready Set Play sale is running from now until August 26th, and there's a ton of absolute bangers on sale for up to 90% off. Every day I put together lists of the top games you can get at a deep discount, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video. If any physical editions exist, you can find them down in the description, but with that out of the way, that's enough yapping from me, so let's get straight into it. For $26, 25% off, Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection is a complete remaster of the classic Star Wars Battlefront games, letting players fight iconic battles across the galaxy on modern consoles, both online and offline. Traverse massive locations, pilot legendary vehicles and starships, and battle as heroes and villains, while experiencing campaign missions, galactic conquest, and expanded hero assault across land, air, and space. It's an 83 average on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $17, 30% off, Call of the Elder Gods is a Lovecraftian mystery adventure following Professor Everhart and student Evangeline as they search for missing loved ones and uncover ancient revelations beyond comprehension across New England libraries, the Australian outback, and beyond. Swap between the two to solve complex multi-part puzzles in richly rendered Unreal Engine 5 environments with fully voiced performances and an award-winning soundtrack. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $11, 75% off, the Talos Principle 2 Deluxe Edition expands the original's philosophical puzzle game into a city of robots carrying human culture forward, where you uncover a mysterious megastructure hiding enormous powers. Solve a new generation of puzzles using abilities like gravity manipulation and mind transference, explore over a dozen all-new environments, and shape a multi-ending story through the included Road to Elysium DLC. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $12, 50% off, Romancing Saga Minstrel Song Remastered is a classic open-ended JRPG where 8 heroes set out across a vast world as ancient gods and legendary fate stones return to threaten humanity once more. Through the free scenario system, glimmer-based skill learning, and strategic combo attacks in turn-based battles, every playthrough unfolds differently depending on the choices you make and the characters you develop. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 85 hours to platinum. For $37, 50% off, Frostpunk 2 Deluxe Edition includes the base game plus 3 DLCs, a digital novella from the Frostpunk anthology, an art book, the epic soundtrack, and an exclusive in-game item. Take the helm as first citizen in New Edinburgh, a city risen near a destabilized volcano, guiding each faction toward its own unique utopia tree while managing a periodic vote of trust that checks your approval rating and keeps unrest at bay. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $19, 35% off, Neverwinter Nights 2 Enhanced Edition casts you as the Shardbearer, tasked with stopping the King of Shadows and his army from desecrating the land across over 100 hours of epic campaigns and 3 expansions, Mask of the Betrayer, Storm of Zahir, and Mysteries of Westgate. Refined mechanics, polished camera controls, enhanced textures, and the full D&D 3.5 rule set deliver a classic RPG experience reimagined for modern players. It's an 82 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 200 hours to platinum. For $11, 55% off, GigaBash combines chaotic arena fighting with the jaw-dropping scale of classic kaiju movies, letting you play as either a rampaging titan or a titan-hunting mecha across destructible city arenas. Summon lightning from the heavens, use a radio tower as a baton, or roll an entire district and your enemies into a single massive snowball, wreaking enough havoc to evolve into your terrifyingly titanic final S-Class form. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $15, 40% off, Ninja 5-0 is a classic action game following Joe Osugi, a detective who uses a wide variety of masterful ninjutsu skills to protect the city of Zipangu, solve treacherous crimes like bank heists and hijackings, and take down the evil Mad Mask bosses. The game features multiple attack modes, a time trial mode for replaying cleared stages against the clock, save anywhere functionality, and a rewind feature for modern convenience. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $16, 20% off, Angry Video Game Nerd 8-Bit is an all-new action platformer set in the AVGN universe, casting you as the nerd blasting through pixel art levels, crawling with zombies and mechanical skeletons. Slide below platforms, pick up power-ups, and take alternate routes to reach the boss room, then dive into endless challenge modes, increasingly difficult randomized rooms, hunting for helpful items and a hidden boss that only appears there. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $15, 50% off, Wildlands 2 is a first-person VR grappling hook exploration game where you soar through the breathtaking ruins of a fallen world, armed with hooks and a bow, on a mission to destroy gigantic titans and save the world from an ancient danger. Play solo or swing through the skies with friends in co-op as you master fluid, exhilarating movement across stunningly realized open environments. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. For $25, 50% off, Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon is a reimagined visual novel following Shiki Tono as he returns home after his father's death to uncover dark secrets and fragmented memories. It collects the near side of the moon scenarios, featuring Arcwade's Moon Princess and Seal's Midnight Rainbow, updating the story to 2010's Tokyo with expanded character development, stunning visuals, fluid animations, and an evocative soundtrack. It's a 92 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 1 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $14, 65% off, Sword and Fairy Together Forever is an action RPG that blends ancient mythology with traditional Oriental aesthetics, placing you in command of a diverse party from human, deity, and demon clans. With dynamic real-time combat, instant character switching, spirit creature companions, and lush environments filled with minigames, exclusive outfits, and skill progression, every battle and exploration feels strategic and visually stunning. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $15, 70% off, Gamedec Definitive Edition is an award-winning cyberpunk isometric RPG set in 22nd century Warsaw, where you play as a game detective solving crimes inside virtual worlds where the line between life and death is blurred. Gather intel from witnesses and suspects, make choices that continuously shape the narrative without judgment, and unravel deceptive schemes in a richly layered world exploring the darker side of human nature. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $30, 50% off, the Risk of Rain 2 bundle includes the base game and all 3 expansions, Survivors of the Void, Seekers of the Storm, and Alloyed Collective, and a massive roguelike third-person shooter where you escape a chaotic alien planet by combining loot and mastering a diverse roster of survivors. Battle hordes of frenzied monsters solo or with friends, with the DLC adding new survivors, items, stages, enemies, and alternate endings. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $24, 60% off, Am Setsuna is a heartfelt JRPG where you follow Setsuna as she prepares to make the ultimate sacrifice to save her homeland, delivering a story of emotion, sorrow, and moving fantasy adventure. You'll explore beautifully crafted environments, meet a cast of memorable characters, and engage in a battle system inspired by Chrono Trigger, blending turn-based strategy with modern refinements for a nostalgic yet fresh experience. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $14, 65% off, Hero Must Die Again has you playing a hero whose last memory is felling the demon Guile, only to die in the process and forget the very person he risked everything to protect and save. Live out your final 5 days granted by the gods as you grow weaker over time, woo one of 8 unique heroines with their own personalities, and resolve remaining problems in the world you saved toward one of over 50 different funerals. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $12, 40% off, In Stars and Time is a charming time-looping RPG where Siffrin and their found family of adventurers are trapped in a temporal tragedy, reliving the same 2 days over and over as victory slips away with only Siffrin aware of each devastating, wearying reset. Equip memories as armor, pray to the Change God, and challenge foes to rock, paper, scissors, while unlocking new choices that inch ever closer to breaking the cycle. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $14, 80% off, the Crew Motorfest settles down on the breathtaking Hawaiian island of Oahu, letting you join high-speed street races through Honolulu or test your skills off-road on ashy volcanic slopes and winding mountain tracks. Dive into thematic playlists and campaigns spanning American muscle, Japanese-style street racing, and legendary machines of the past, competing in intense races to collect the most iconic cars ever created. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $10, 50% off, the Cozy Grove and New Neighbors bundle has you camping as a spirit scout on a haunted, ever-changing island, wandering its forests each day to uncover secrets and soothe local ghosts. Craft decorations, collect spirit animals, and go fishing as you bring color and joy back to Cozy Grove. Then unlock 4 new ghost bears with lengthy personal stories from the new Neighbors DLC by bringing peace to the island's original spirits. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $24, 60% off. The Smurfs Dreams is a whimsical 3D platformer, sending Gargamel's curse to plunge the Smurfs into a magical slumber that you must wake them from before he reaches the village. Explore vibrant dream worlds full of fantastical landscapes, solve inventive puzzles, face imaginative boss fights solo or with a friend in 2-player co-op, and collect magic orbs and patterns to customize your Smurf as you jump, dash, and uncover hidden secrets. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $12, 60% off. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition is an action RPG where a band of crystal caravanners journeys across a miasma-covered world to gather myrrh and keep their homeland's crystal alive. Venture through perilous dungeons using spell fusion magic and strategic real-time combat, and experience beautifully remastered visuals with challenging new dungeons and added story content. It's an 81 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 50 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $12, 50% off, Tai the Tasmanian Tiger HD is a vibrant 3D platformer where you play as Tai, racing across the Australian outback to rescue your family from the Dreaming and stop the evil genius Boss Cass. With colorful levels, a huge arsenal of unique boomerangs including the Frostarang and Doomerang, and new features like hardcore mode, improved HD graphics, and updated camera controls, every adventure is full of action, humor, and Aussie charm. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $24, 60% off. Football Manager 26 delivers instinctive control and a redesigned UI, combining with the series' most immersive matchday experience yet to bring you closer to every defining moment. Chase FIFA World Cup 2026 glory with authentic broadcast graphics, dive into the fully licensed Premier League for the first time, explore new in and out of possession tactical formations, and manage 14 playable women's football leagues across 11 nations. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 75 hours to platinum. For $30, 40% off. Cthulhu the Cosmic Abyss is a first-person Lovecraftian horror adventure set in 2053, where Agent Noah investigates missing miners in the Pacific depths and descends in Aurelia as Cthulhu's influence steadily erodes his sanity. Gather clues with AI companion Key, solve complex puzzles, and navigate branching investigative paths in a cinematic narrative where the deeper you go, the more your mind succumbs to cosmic horror. It's a 70 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $21, 40% off. Madison is a first-person psychological horror game that plunges you into a nightmarish world where your family has been brutally murdered and you wake up trapped in a dark room. Using a possessed instant camera, you'll explore, solve twisted puzzles, and uncover the horrifying truth behind the gory ritual Madison wants you to complete, while evading multiple sinister entities whose disturbing backstories intertwine with the main narrative. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $22, 50% off. Armello Complete Edition brings the grim fairy tale board game to life, bundling the base game with all heroes, clans, quests, and cards from across its expansions and hero packs. Choose from over 20 playable heroes across the 4 great clans, plus the Dragon, Bandit, Usurper, and Rivals packs, roll unique clan dice, collect amulets and rings, and explore over 250 quests across alternate spring and autumn board skins. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $15, 50% off, Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster revives the classic 1995 FPS, fully rebuilt by Night Dive Studios with enhanced visuals, lighting, modern gamepad support, and improved accessibility options. You play as Kyle Katarn, a former Imperial-turned-Rebel mercenary, infiltrating enemy strongholds, navigating maze-like levels, and uncovering the deadly Dark Trooper project that threatens to tip the balance of the galactic war. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $12, 40% off, NanoApostle follows Anita, a girl born from experimental procedures deep within a shadowy research facility and implanted with a sentient nanomechanical entity, Apostle. Battle axe-wielding mechs, fire-spewing behemoths, and psychokinetic terrors, exploit destruction points to land devastating blows, earn skill points through combat and parkour challenges, and master abilities like dodge, parry, and deadly slashing attacks. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $15, 70% off, Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes begins in Alron, a diverse tapestry of nations where the Chaldean Empire has discovered technology that amplifies the magic of rune lenses across the entire land. Follow Sane Kessling, a gifted Imperial officer, and Noah, a boy from a remote village, as their unlikely friendship gets dragged into the fires of war and forces them to re-examine everything they believe to be right and true. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. For $19, 35% off, Sacred 2 Remaster returns to the massive fantasy realm of Ankaria, where T-Energy has plunged a once prosperous world into corruption and chaos as 6 heroes with unique abilities fight for survival. Battle monstrous creatures, conquer dungeons, and shape your character through loot, leveling, and deep customization across hundreds of quests, with refined combat mechanics, a modern UI, and all expansions included. It's a 72 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 120 hours to platinum. For $13, 67% off, World War Z Aftermath is the ultimate co-op zombie shooter, letting you join up to 3 friends or AI teammates against hordes of ravenous zombies across new story episodes worldwide. Take back Vatican City and Rome, join survivors on Russia's snowbound Kamchatka Peninsula, level up 8 unique classes including the new Vanguard, wield a brutal new melee system with dual-wield weapons, and survive Horde Mode XL's endless zombie waves. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 150 hours to platinum. For $25, 50% off, Spirit Hunter Death Mark 2 is a suspense horror adventure set at Tokyo's Konohara Academy, casting you as the head of the Kujo family, the Spirit Doctor, investigating supernatural rumors. Track ominous death notices, uncover students who aren't what they seem, confront the malevolent spirit known as the Departed, and navigate side-scrolling exploration alongside first-person investigation with tension-adding partner mechanics. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $30, 40% off, BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma Extend is a 2D fighting game and visual novel hybrid featuring 28 characters, a revamped guard crush system, and unique mechanics like the drive button and overdrive to keep battles flashy and deeply strategic. Story content spans the main scenario, digest versions of 2 previous entries, the comedic remix heart mode, and 8 gag scenarios, making it a deep package for new and returning fans. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $15, 70% off, Brigandine The Legend of Runergia is a grand strategy simulation, pitting 6 nations and a small tribe against each other for control of the magical continent of Runergia. Select the ruler, assemble platoons of knights and monsters, conquer enemy bases using tactical hex map battles with elemental and terrain strategies, manage seasonal planning, and uncover the secrets of the Brigandine armor and the fate of the continent. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 140 hours to platinum. For $20, 33% off, Galacticare puts you in charge of the only intergalactic healthcare company that actually cures patients, using bold experimental treatments to save lives instead of bloating quarterly KPIs across the sector. Journey from the company's humble beginnings orbiting 23rd century Earth to the internal world of an extra-dimensional deity, managing hospitals and treating bizarre ailments to save the galaxy 1 patient at a time. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 55 hours to platinum. For $15, 50% off, MechWarrior 5 Clans casts you as a new Smoke Jaguar pilot in the clan invasion of the Inner Sphere, leading a 5-mech star squad across an expansive cinematic campaign. Customize battle mechs with advanced clan weapon systems and equipment, advance your pilots through the new progression system, navigate strategic battles with a new battle grid and command wheel, and team up with up to 4 other players in 5-player co-op. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $15, 40% off, Roots of Pacha has you join a thriving Stone Age community, discovering ideas, domesticating crops, and befriending animals as your village grows across solo or co-op play. Farm vegetables and herbs, fish shallow and deep waters, mine caves filled with mysteries, invent buildings and pottery, unlock your clan's spirituality, customize your home, and find your true love among a tight-knit community with their own fears and dreams. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. For $15, 50% off, Nico Dorico: The Magical World Director's Cut is a whimsical 2.5D platformer that follows Nico and Luna as they traverse magical worlds filled with secrets, treasures, and giant bosses. Run, jump, ride animal mounts, and explore vibrant levels with underwater segments, minecart rides, and classic 3D platforming while enjoying new hard mode challenges, secret collectibles, hidden areas, and cooperative play with a friend. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $39, 35% off, Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition Premium Edition celebrates 25 years of the legendary strategy series with 4K graphics, a remastered soundtrack, and over 45 civilizations across over 200 hours of campaigns, skirmishes, and online multiplayer. The Premium Edition bundles the base game with 8 expansions including Lords of the West, Dynasties of India, The Three Kingdoms, Return of Rome, and more for the ultimate AoE 2 experience. It's a 91 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 120 hours to platinum. For $20, 60% off, the Riftbreaker Complete Edition is a hybrid base-building, exploration, and action RPG, casting you as Captain Ashley S. Nowak inside a powerful mech suit tasked with colonizing the distant planet Galatea 37. Explore multiple biomes, dive into campaign, survival, and sandbox modes, extensively customize your base and mech suit, and enjoy every expansion included as part of this deep, replayable sci-fi strategy experience. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $20, 75% off, the Shadow Warrior trilogy delivers all 3 fast-paced first-person shooters starring the quick-witted warrior Lo Wang, combining over-the-top action, razor-sharp melee, and explosive gunplay. Shadow Warrior introduces a bold, fast-moving adventure with blades, guns, and dark humor, and Shadow Warrior 2 and 3 evolved the series with free-running movement across procedurally generated landscapes. It's a 75 average on OpenCritic, average trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 110 hours to get all 3 platinums. For $11, 25% off, Grind Survivors is a relentless action roguelite where you battle endless waves of hellspawn as a towering demon hunter across post-apocalyptic biomes, dodging bullet hell chaos and stacking powerful upgrades with every run. Loot procedurally generated weapons with unique stats and traits, fuse them at the forge for devastating perk combos, and push your build to the absolute limit in infinitely scaling endless mode. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 65 hours to platinum. For $11, 45% off, Adventure of Samsara is a mysterious 2D Metroidvania, casting you as the Solar Champion, a long-dead Plutonian resurrected by the sun to reactivate an interdimensional fortress and restore balance to the multiverse. Battle through 10 unique biomes from frozen wastes to industrial labs, confront brutal mutant bosses, unlock new abilities and enhancements, and uncover subtle Easter eggs referencing the original Atari classic. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $20, 50% off, Mandragora Whispers of the Witch Tree is a dark fantasy action RPG where you play as an inquisitor, exploring a ruined world filled with monstrous foes, hidden secrets, and dangerous treasures while unraveling a deep, mysterious narrative. Choose from 6 classes, master precise Souls-like combat with dodges, parries, and powerful attacks, craft weapons and gear, and traverse 75 interconnected locations from Crimson City to the horrors of Entropy. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $16, 60% off, Atari 50, the Anniversary Celebration, is a massive interactive retrospective celebrating 50 years of gaming history. Explore over 100 classic titles spanning 7 platforms, including Arcade, 2600, 5200, 7800, Atari 8-bit computers, Lynx, and Jaguar, while learning about the stories and innovations behind the games through documentary footage, interviews, and digital artifacts. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. For $12, 50% off, The Bridge Curse 2: The Extrication is a first-person survival horror adventure set in Taiwan's Wenhua University, where ghost tales and folklore come to life. Play as 4 distinct characters, including a determined news reporter and 3 students, evading relentless ghosts and solving puzzles through echoing corridors and haunted halls using stealth, tactics, and sacred objects to outwit your supernatural pursuers. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $14, 30% off. Alien Hominid Invasion brings back the beloved Alien in a chaotic run-and-gun brawler where you invade randomly assembled neighborhoods, abduct intel, blow up bosses, and mutate into powerful alien forms to take down secret agents solo or in 4-player co-op. Master flips, digs, and enemy tossing, level up with abilities like head chomping and super speed, and choose your own invasion path through a non-linear level structure. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $16, 45% off. Songs of Conquest is a turn-based strategy game inspired by 90s classics, letting you lead powerful magicians called wielders in a lands unknown to wage war and hunt artifacts. Choose from 4 factions like the Knightly Arlian and Necromantic Loth, manage resources to build your kingdom, dive into deep combat combining troop abilities and magic, and play handcrafted or randomized maps solo, in co-op, or online multiplayer. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $11, 20% off. Hatsune Miku Logic Paint S offers over 350 nonogram puzzles across 5x5, 10x10, 15x15, and 20x20 grids, rewarding you with gorgeous Hatsune Miku and Pyapro character illustrations as you finish stages. Select your favorite Pyapro characters to cheer you on with their rooms as a backdrop, collect stars from puzzle missions to unlock special fan-made songs, and use the handy X feature to mark squares that shouldn't be colored in. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $27, 75% off. Dragon Ball FighterZ Legendary Edition is a high-octane anime fighting game featuring easy-to-learn but difficult-to-master 3v3 tag combat inspired by the beloved series. The Legendary Edition bundles the full game, FighterZ passes 1 through 3, Android 21 lab coat and unlock, commentator voice packs 1 through 4, extra stamps, and a Super Saiyan Goku lobby avatar, plus a story mode featuring Android 21 supervised by Akira Toriyama. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 70 hours to platinum. For $25, 75% off. Ghost Recon Wildlands Definitive Edition drops you into Bolivia's war on drugs, leading your ghost team against the Santa Blanca cartel across sprawling open-world missions. This edition bundles the Season Pass with the Narco Road and Fallen Ghost DLCs, the Year 2 Pass with Splinter Cell and Soldier Equipment gear, the Deluxe Pack, and the Nightfall Protocol and Cold Eye packs with extra characters, weapons, and vehicles. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 55 hours to platinum. For $13, 35% off. Ground Zero is a survival horror game set in the devastated ruins of Busan, where elite operative Seo Yan investigates a catastrophic meteor impact and discovers grotesque mutations lurking in the fog. Fight with expert military combat, earn genome points for cleaner kills to unlock upgrades, and take on massive bosses in a game that lovingly channels classic survival horror with fixed cameras and pre-rendered backgrounds. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $18, 10% off. Ereban Shadow Legacy is a fast-paced stealth platformer where you play as Ayana, the last of a forgotten race, using the Shadow Merge ability to dive into and move freely through shadows, climbing walls, attacking from cover, and infiltrating enemy lines unseen. Absorb echoes to unlock lethal and non-lethal powers, craft high-tech gadgets, and choose your playstyle as you uncover the truth behind your past in a dying universe. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $12, 50% off. Tai the Tasmanian Tiger 2 Bush Rescue HD sends you through the Australian outback, throwing boomerangs and gliding to stop the evil boss Cass and save the town of Burramuji. Fight bushfires from a helicopter, race across southern rivers hanging off a 4-wheel drive, arm yourself with 20 boomerangs including 2 brand new ones, customize Ty's looks in the 4B's paint job, and unlock a brand new photo mode along your journey. It's a 73 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $18, 40% off. Anima Gate of Memories 1 and 2 Remaster is a third-person action RPG bundle combining 2 intertwined stories of a mysterious girl and an immortal soul caught in a hidden war that shapes their fates and destinies. Explore deep fantasy world inspired by the Anima tabletop series, engage in fast-paced combat with a duel system to switch characters seamlessly, and shape branching storylines through your choices. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $14, 30% off. Dragon Spira is a nostalgic pixel art RPG set 1,000 years after the Divine sealed away the rebellious spirit beasts, leaving humanity only the Divine Sword and Seed of Hope. Battle through classic turn-based combat, grow stronger through a board game-style roulette system, customize a wide range of jobs, unlock powerful wonder skills, and raise a spirit beast companion that evolves as you uncover the sealed legend's truth. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $26, 25% off, Showgunners cast you as Scarlet Martillo, a contestant seeking revenge on a brutal dystopian reality show, navigating dangerous urban arenas against hordes of armed psychopaths. Recruit unique partners, upgrade skill trees, dodge deadly traps and hazards like ticking bombs and runaway trains, gain fame and sponsorships for surviving with panache, and dive into the Security Breach DLC's new tactical arenas and Omega Corporation secrets. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $28, 20% off, Abiotic Factor drops you in a sprawling underground research complex where you play as a gate scientist surviving a catastrophic containment breach against supernatural and interdimensional threats. Explore massive labs, construct bases, and craft everything from rudimentary traps to advanced laser weaponry, all while balancing survival, resource management, and teamwork with up to 6 players in a multiplayer open-world environment. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 70 hours to platinum. For $13, 35% off, I Am Your Beast casts you as a retired secret agent, Alphonse Harding, declining one last job once too many times and sparking a furious guerrilla war against the ruthless Covert Operations Initiative. Break your opponents across the North American wilderness, turn their own equipment against them, duck into your tunnel network before enemy forces zero in on your location, and repeat this deadly cycle of covert revenge. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 9 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $12, 75% off, Borderlands 2 VR is a chaotic first-person looter shooter that immerses you in the wild, untamed world of Pandora, where you play a treasure-seeking vault hunter armed with tons of guns on a quest for loot and glory, packed with non-stop explosive mayhem. Choose from 4 unique classes, each with distinct skills and combat styles, then blast bandits, punch psychos, and take on Handsome Jack's forces in fully immersive VR. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $15, 70% off, Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World, Love for These Clothes of Desire is a whimsical narrative adventure, cursing Kazuma and his companions to wear outfits reflecting desires opposite their true personalities. Gather ingredients, experiment with magical crafting, and create bizarre transformations turning darkness into a ruthless dominatrix and Aqua into a prim goddess, solving lighthearted puzzles to lift the curse. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $39, 40% off, Harvest Moon, the Winds of Anthos bundle sends you to revive the sleeping harvest goddess and reconnect Anthos' separated villages after a volcanic eruption tore the land apart. Farm across snowy mountains and beaches with Doc's Expando Farm, raise cows and exotic pets like tigers, woo 5 bachelors and 5 bachelorettes, mine for ore, and unlock 4 DLC packs via the included season pass with new crops and interior designs. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 140 hours to platinum. For $16, 35% off, Magical Delicacy has you play young witch Flora, traveling to the mysterious harbor town of Grot, where adventurers settled to chart a strange unexplored island full of mystery and magic. Cook meals and potions in your customized kitchen, navigate the town in casual platforming to take up townsfolk orders, and get caught between the witch Cassia and the magus Tano as they use you in their dispute over magical beings. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $19, 35% off, Monument Valley, the collection, brings all 3 award-winning games together for the first time, letting you begin with Ida's search for forgiveness through impossible monuments. Continue with Ro and her child, exploring shifting architecture and motherhood, then conclude with Nor sailing through fading worlds to restore the light across calming puzzles and evocative visuals that have resonated with millions. It's an 82 average on OpenCritic, average trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 15 hours to finish all 3 games. For $28, 30% off, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed is a rebuilt remake of the beloved 3D platformer, bringing Mickey Mouse back to Wasteland, a world of forgotten Disney characters, where his magic brush can restore beauty with paint or reshape environments with thinner. Improved controls, new abilities like dash and ground pound, enhanced animations, and stunning reimagined visuals offer a fresh, dynamic take on this fan-favorite classic. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $12, 60% off. Another Crab's Treasure is an underwater Souls-like adventure where you play as Krill the Hermit Crab, using discarded trash as armor to survive battles against towering sea creatures and uncover the truth behind a polluted ocean. You'll embark on an epic hunt through colorful coral cities, eerie deep-sea trenches, and forgotten shipwrecks on a quest to reclaim your stolen shell and confront a mysterious infection. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $18, 70% off. Jagged Alliance 3 is a tactical turn-based RPG set in Grand Chien after its president vanishes and the paramilitary legion seizes control, where you recruit mercenaries with distinct personalities, quirks, and abilities for deep strategic combat. Train locals, control territory, forge alliances, manage multiple squads, customize equipment, and tackle the full campaign in online co-op as you fight to restore the nation. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 90 hours to platinum. For $20, 60% off. Crusader Kings 3 has you lead a medieval noble family, guiding a dynasty through generations of heirs across realms stretching from Iceland to India. Conquer enemies as a master of the battlefield or plot in the shadows with poison and secrets, arrange marriages, champion your faith or start a splinter religion, recruit men-at-arms and mercenaries for war, and use your spy master to seduce, blackmail, or murder your rivals. It's a 90 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 200 hours to platinum. For $19, 25% off. Wizmans World Retry is a dungeon-crawling RPG where you explore the sealed city of Wizarest, absorb enemies, and evolve 3 homunculi through anima fusion. With a timeline-based battle system, elemental counterplay, and monster fusion progression, you'll push through shifting dungeons while building a custom party of inherited skills and abilities with careful strategic planning and experimentation. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. For $18, 40% off. Portal Knights Legendary Edition drops you into a world torn by the fracture and terrorized by the Hollow King, tasking you with leveling up, crafting weapons, and vanquishing foes. Explore Alicia's mysterious elvish moon Feanor, home to the secretive Rogues Guild and dangerous Rift dungeons, and explore all 13 DLCs including Druids, Furfolk, and Relic Defense, plus cosmetic packs like the Gold Throne Pack and box of fantastic headwear. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $15, 75% off. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim VR is a full-length open-world fantasy RPG that immerses you in the epic land of Tamriel, where dragons have returned and the fate of the Empire hangs in the balance. The game includes the complete core experience along with official add-ons Dawnguard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn, combining vast exploration, dynamic combat, and fully immersive VR mechanics for a truly epic adventure. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 125 hours to platinum. For $15, 70% off. Tactics Ogre Reborn is a legendary tactical RPG, Reborn, telling a politically charged story of war, loyalty, and moral choice in the embattled Valyrian Isles with sweeping consequences throughout. You'll fight deep, turn-based battles across fully 3D battlefields with revamped UI, unit-by-unit leveling, and endless combinations of classes, skills, equipment, and magic that reward careful planning and theory crafting. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 120 hours to platinum. For $24, 60% off. Anno 1800 is a city-building RTS set at the dawn of the Industrial Age, where you create sprawling metropolises, plan logistic networks, settle lush new continents, send global expeditions, and dominate opponents through diplomacy, trade, or warfare. Play a story-based campaign, dive into a customizable sandbox, or compete and cooperate in online multiplayer as you guide your growing industrial empire to prosperity. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $36, 40% off. BlazBlue Central Fiction is a high-octane 2D fighting game, delivering deep, stylish, fast-paced, and highly technical combat as the latest entry in the storied BlazBlue franchise. Master a roster of unique fighters with distinct moves and combos, engage in intense single-player story arcs, online battles, and tournament-style matches, and explore visually striking arenas packed with innovative mechanics and challenging gameplay. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $24, 60% off. Morph Defense Complete Edition casts you as an invading alien species harvesting Earth's resources, fusing top-down twin-stick shooting with tower defense strategy across destructible battlefields. Build mazes of alien towers, tear down buildings and collapse bridges to reroute enemies, tackle massive mecha boss battles, and dive into the European Assault, Survival of the Fittest, and Last Bastion DLCs, plus the full original soundtrack. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $16, 20% off, BrokenLore Unfollow is a first-person psychological horror game where Anne, haunted by the trauma of bullying, is trapped in a surreal nightmare and must confront the most painful moments of her life while grotesque creatures stalk her every move. Exploring themes of cyberbullying, body dysmorphia, and emotional isolation, it delivers a tense, symbolically rich horror experience uncovering social media's dark impact on mental health. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $15, 40% off, Little Kitty, Big City is a charming open-world adventure where you play as a small cat who has fallen from their apartment and must find a way home, but probably not before exploring every corner, befriending a colorful cast of chatty animals, and causing a total ruckus first. Complete quests, help your new animal friends, customize your kitty with adorable hats, and take the occasional nap in the sunshine at your own sweet pace. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $11, 25% off, Beyond Words fuses roguelike strategy with word crafting, tasking you with building powerful word combos and unlocking upgrades across a living puzzle shaped by your decisions. Switch up letter scores, duplicate favorites, bend the rules with over 300 modifiers and abilities, overcome over 30 unique boss challenges that twist the rules in devious ways, and take on time attacks or seeded runs for endless replayability. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. For $17, 30% off, Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic combines the best features of the two most beloved games in the series, bundling in the Toolkit, Wacky Worlds, and Time Twister expansion packs. Design coasters piece by piece or use pre-made templates, build gentle or wild rides and shops to keep guests happy, manage marketing and finances to turn a profit, and progress through 95 classic park scenarios across environments from Forest Frontiers to Mega World. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 200 hours to platinum. For $16, 45% off, Tortuga: A Pirate's Tale lets you live out the ultimate 17th century pirate fantasy as a daring captain hungry for gold, glory, and dominance across the Caribbean. Command a fleet, recruit infamous pirate captains, raid trading convoys while upgrading unique ship loadouts, engage in tactical turn-based naval battles decided by wind and positioning, and keep your crew loyal by fairly dividing the spoils to prevent mutiny. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 45 hours to platinum. For $15, 70% off, Doraemon Story of Seasons Friends of the Great Kingdom has Nobi and friends arrive on a strange planet, meeting a boy named Loomis and vowing to restore his old farm to its former glory. Grow crops, raise animals, and use Doraemon's secret gadgets like the mini rain cloud and Hopter to make farming a breeze. Explore golden wheat fields and atmospheric forests that shift with the seasons, and farm together with a friend in offline 2-player. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 55 hours to platinum. For $18, 10% off, The Rise of the Golden Idol is a narrative-driven puzzle adventure following a tenacious relic hunter in the 1970s on a quest for a legendary artifact rumored to reshape the world. Investigate 20 strange cases of crime, death, and depravity where enlightenment seekers, convicts, chat show hosts, and middle management all hide secrets, then gather clues and build theories across an age of hallucinogens, fax machines, and parapsychology. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $15, 25% off, Xenotilt is the sequel to cult hit Demon's Tilt, dropping you aboard the derelict starship Samaritan, turned hostile by a vicious xenophage bug infestation. Blast through an expansive 3-story table with nightmarish new bosses like Hera the Rogue Pirate AI and Broodmother, upgrade weapons and defense with 9 unique perks, fill the 9-ball multi-ball matrix, and take on Crisis and Hardcore modes for extra bullet hell chaos. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $22, 50% off, the Slime Rancher Rainbow Bundle includes both games, following Beatrix LeBeau as she wrangles adorable slimes and builds an interstellar ranch across the far, far range and the vibrant new environments of Rainbow Island. Discover new slime species, build inventive gadgets, uncover hidden secrets, and expand your ranch in 2 delightful sandbox adventures full of exploration, customization, and lighthearted charm. It's a 77 average on OpenCritic, average trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 60 hours to get both platinums. For $25, 50% off, Against the Storm Complete Edition is a roguelite survival city builder, casting you as the Viceroy under the Scorched Queen, tasked with reclaiming the wilderness for the smoldering city. Manage a network of settlements across diverse biomes, balance the needs of humans, foxes, harpies, beavers, and frogs, unlock blueprints and meta progression upgrades, and dive into the Keepers of the Stone DLC's new species, biomes, and buildings. It's an 89 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 250 hours to platinum. For $25, 70% off, SD Gundam Battle Alliance Deluxe Edition is an action RPG, uniting mobile suits and pilots from across Gundam history to correct a twisted timeline in the G-universe. Engage in fast-paced combo combat with dynamic animations, customize and upgrade your mobile suits, tackle missions solo or cooperatively with up to 2 friends, and dive into this edition's Season Pass with extra scenario missions and the exclusive Command Gundam unit. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 75 hours to platinum. For $10, 65% off, Nightmare Reaper is a dark, violent blend of retro 2.5D first-person shooting and modern looter-shooter roguelite elements, pitting you against hordes of enemies across open-ended levels mixing manual and randomly generated nightmare escapes. Gather 80 unique weapons with randomized enchantments, purchase character upgrades via minigames, uncover a mysterious story, and unleash carnage to a soundtrack by Andrew Hulshult across multiple game modes. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 9 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $19, 35% off, Gal Guardians Servants of the Dark is a Metroidvania set in the Demon Realm, where maids Kirika and Masha join their weakened master Maxim to reclaim his destroyed castle amid a demonic civil war. Explore interconnected environments, switch between ranged demonic guns and close-range whip attacks, revive vassals to strengthen your base, craft demon relics, and take on challenging bosses solo or in local and online co-op. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $20, 50% off, Witch on the Holy Night is a fully remastered visual novel telling a coming-of-age story set in the vibrant, neon-lit streets of late 1980s Japan. Follow a kind-hearted boy and 2 mysterious young witches whose lives intertwine in a heartfelt tale of magic and friendship, brought to life with stunning HD visuals, fully voiced performances, and exquisite art direction blending slice-of-life scenes with supernatural tension. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 1 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $15, 50% off, The Case of the Golden Idol Complete Edition is a narrative-driven point-and-click mystery game, bundling the award-winning original with its expansions, The Spider of Lanka and The Lemurian Vampire. Investigate gruesome deaths, analyze clues, and piece together the plot while uncovering the dark conspiracy behind the Golden Idol across intricately designed crime scenes full of secrets and twists. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 10 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $22, 55% off, Hot Wheels Let's Race Ultimate Speed Deluxe Edition is a high-octane arcade racer, letting you drift through wild courses and take on giant boss battles across a garage full of fan-favorite rides. Choose from iconic vehicles like the GT Scorcher and Super Twin Mill, play across 5 modes including Track Builder, face off against Professor Rearview's Giant Cobra, and unlock the high-voltage Speed Pack's electrified tracks. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $12, 40% off, Sail Forth casts out across the deep blue, letting you explore dozens of eccentric regions bursting with their own flora, fauna, friendly folk, and fearsome foes. Build and manage a custom fleet of specialized vessels, upgrade armaments to face off against tough privateers, join the Angler Wranglers and Croaker Command Corps to uncover a terrible secret, and sail through dynamic day-night weather in the relaxing free sail mode. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $12, 60% off, Heliborn lets you pilot over 50 military helicopters spanning 3 classes, from classic 1950s machines to modern 21st century gunships across historical conflicts. Support ground forces, perform assaults, and protect supply lines using over 100 payload variants across maps inspired by real-world locations like the Gulf of Tonkin and Kosovo, testing your skills in single-player, co-op, and competitive multiplayer for up to 10 players. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, and there's a broken trophy making the platinum unobtainable. For $32, 50% off, Construction Simulator Titanium Edition drops you into the world of heavy machinery, offering over 100 varied construction jobs across 2 huge maps with their own extensive campaigns. Work with over 90 licensed machines from 24 renowned manufacturers, and this edition throws in the Kramer Pack, Car and Bobblehead Pack, Customization Kit, and both the Year 1 and Year 2 Season Passes packed with new expansions and cosmetics. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 190 hours to platinum. For $30, 40% off. Guilty Gear Xrd Sign is a visually stunning 2D fighter rendered in full 3D to achieve a hand-drawn anime aesthetic, featuring 17 characters and a revamped battle system centered on the Roman cancel mechanic for crafting deep, personalized strategies. Dive into a story mode blending adventure gameplay with TV animation, master the roster through tutorials and training modes, and compete in ranked and player matches online. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $24, 40% off. Under Night In Birth EXE Late CLR delivers a deeper, darker fighting experience, letting you battle with 21 unique characters, including all new fighter Landrekia and his original moves and story. Master devastating combos and dazzling special attacks across online, arcade, story, and training modes, command combatants showcasing over 12,000 frames of animation, and perfect your style with nearly 1,000 character balance adjustments. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $20, 60% off. Rogue Company Ultimate Edition is a third-person tactical action shooter, letting you skydive in high-stakes missions across objective-based modes like King of the Hill and Demolition. Suit up as one of many rogues with unique weapons, gadgets, and abilities, and this edition bundles the Year 1 pass with characters like Kestrel, Seeker, and Mac, the North Star Phantom Legendary outfit, exclusive cosmetics, and 1,000 total rogue bucks. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 45 hours to platinum. For $24, 60% off. VR Skater Pro Bundle is designed from the ground up for VR, putting the board under your feet with rolling, clicking wheels before you pop the perfect ollie every run. Master flip tricks, grab tricks, grinds, slides, and manuals across 7 stunning urban environments and the Mega Ramp, earn XP and medals to swap out your grip tape and board artwork, and dive into the SL Pro Series DLC's 5 new maps, modes, and mechanics. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $30, 50% off. Undernaut's Labyrinth of Yomi is a challenging dungeon-crawling RPG, leading a team of subterranean adventurers through the monster-infested depths of Yomi in search of priceless resources. Navigate twisting corridors, avoid deadly traps, strategically deploy powerful skills and magic items, manage your party's health and stamina, and work toward a safe escape to the surface through intricate labyrinth design and mysterious story elements. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 55 hours to platinum. For $24, 60% off. Dyschronia, Chronos Alternate, is an anime-style sci-fi crime investigation spanning 3 episodes set in Astrum Close, a sealed marine utopia with a near-zero crime rate, where investigator Hal Scion uses his unique ability to see and alter the past. Gather evidence, evade menacing forces, and accuse perpetrators in gripping courtroom sequences to uncover who murdered the city's founder. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. Alright, that's it for today's list, everybody. If you've played any of these already, drop your thoughts in the comments. Your insights help others find great games too, it's not just mine. As always, I want to thank all my channel members for their generous support, but to all you out there who watch, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff as well, thank you. You're the reason I'm still having fun making all these videos every day, and I'm genuinely grateful for each and every one of you out there. If you can spare $1 a month, you get early access to all my videos, and it helps me out more than you know. But I know times are tough out there, so all I do ask is, if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with any new sale stuff that I put out, leave a like, and comment down below if you've got any of these platinums or plan on going for any of them.